Camille, I'm so excited to have you on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you, Maria. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for sharing your platform with me. I'm hyped.
Absolutely. Can't wait to dig right in with you and tell a little bit about what you have going on today. We know that you have been very busy in the renovations and also with Better Than Success and helping people build a legacy through real estate.
Yes, yes. So, like you said, start with renovations. I'm out here, and even though right now the climate of the market, people are still renovating. That's one of the good things for me doing custom work. It's like it's always motion. Normally, I'm booked like a year out for full guts. Now maybe like 6 months, so it's still there, but I'm able to slide in some of my passion pieces, which are custom bathrooms, custom kitchens, that type of custom bathrooms, just making stuff really, really pretty at a higher end versus just working for the investor where we're looking for the flip. And sometimes we have to watch spending because of course I'm an investor as well. So I understand that and I love working with investors. But during our slow season is my passion season because that's when I get to really get in and create because usually I work for private homeowners.
What are
So
people looking for today? What's like the hot things you're seeing?
mm, fireplaces and bedrooms.
Hmm.
Yes, a fireplace in a bedroom. The open concept is kind of fading away.
And what do you mean by
People,
that?
so where at least back in the day, it was maybe a kitchen, a breakfast room, a formal dining room, and a living room. Now it's not so much that formal dining room. The breakfast room has been going. People my age probably don't even know what a breakfast room is. But the formal dining room, it's kind of coming back, not formal where they want the space where they need all the space for the china cabinets and things of those nature. But they do want to have a nice formal area to set up just because I think it adds to like the prettiness of the home. And sometimes they want that space to be separate from the living room and the kitchen. For a while, for maybe about the past 5 to 10 years, it's been an open concept thing where you walk into a front door and it's just a big, open, beautiful space, kind of like a lofty vibe, where everything is open from their front door to entryway. You can see every point of the living space of the first floor. That's kind of going away. Now we're building walls again, where one time it was just take down the walls, take down the walls, take down the walls. We're starting to layer walls back in. It looks a little different. It's no longer your 1970s home or even your 1990s home, but it's different than what it was 5 years ago or 2 years ago at that.
Well, that's really interesting because for the last, I'd say, 10 to 15 years, everybody wanted all the space open. And you're saying
Yep.
people want that dining room enclosed again?
Yeah, they do. They're definitely looking for it. Maybe not all the way enclosed, where's the door to go into that room, but they want that separate space. Just I think for more of that visual focal point.
Oh,
That's what a lot of people were missing because we got away from. I was doing a lot of islands for a while. It was like you had your regular peninsula off the kitchen and then maybe like an island space. They're getting back to more of a focal point and wanting to just have that visual, which normally comes with some form of a formal dining room area. That's kind of like to itself. That's not necessarily where I do my regular with my family. That's not where we're not eating breakfast and dinner, but that's where you do your entertaining space. So I think people want to bring that back some. It's the entertaining space. And that's
a
what they're
little bit
looking
more formal.
exactly a little bit more formal and a way to separate. And when I talk to my homeowners, a lot of times it comes out a way to separate the groups, rather it's a group of spouses together. If there's children there, when it's just that straight open concept, everybody's there. It's just all the room. It's no separate space. So I think that's part of it is to get that separate space. And also, like I said, just that formal, just that visual. We are just very visual people as we get older.
So people want private space away from kids yelling and screaming and watching TV and acting crazy.
Exactly. They want to sit down and, enjoy a glass of wine or coffee or tea with their friends while the kids or wherever or the husbands are watching whatever they're watching. They're loud and goofy and cursing and gassy and all the stuff that husbands do and just have that space. And every home doesn't always afford, a finished basement or attic space or a den area.
Very interesting. It's the
Mhm.
first time that I've heard that
Yeah,
recently. So I will have to watch out for that,
yeah,
Camille.
absolutely.
Looking at some
Absolutely.
of
Telling you,
these,
watch out for it.
yeah, when looking at
Yeah,
some of these properties.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. And so also then the fireplaces in the bedroom. That's
yeah,
always comfy cozy to have a
correct.
fireplace in the bedroom.
Exactly. Fireplace in the bedroom.
Putting in gas or
Bathroom
electric.
open. Electric, just the electric little slide-ins. Yeah, they're really easy. And maybe in some of your higher end homes, gas will be sort of over, but maybe not really because then I would say more of the a wood burner fireplace in the living room or the dining room area. That's still for people who like that. They will go for that, I think, over gas. But normally the electric, for somebody that just want the cozy look, the heat, I'm about to run and cut my electric fireplace off right now because I'm hot. Yeah, between the fireplace and this light. But yeah, just to give that aesthetic.
Awesome.
Oh,
That's great. So I know you're involved a lot with Better Than Success. You're a success coach, and tell me what's going
mhm.
on in that arena.
Wow. So, of course, everyone knows real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth. Almost every rich person, like beyond wealthy, like rich person, they have some of their income or money is invested in real estate. So as that trickles down to, just your regular working class, medium to lower higher end income bracket families, then that's real estate too. But a lot of people want to get into it and they don't have an understanding of it. So that's where leagues like Better Than Success, which I'm an executive for and a success coach, where we come in and we teach people the fundamentals of investing. We could take you from literally not having a clue, never invested, like you might have watched something on HGTV and said, you know what, I want to do that. And just come out for the information, the network, the community. And then you have other people that's been investing for 20, 30 years and they only want to just redo their brand. They want to step it up to another level. Better Than Success is also that place for seasoned investors. We really pride ourselves on if you follow our strategies and use all the tools that we give you, you could definitely increase your net worth by $100,000 easily in your first year of membership. Like that's
Wow.
something easy here.
Wow. 100,000, six figures in a year.
Correct.
That's pretty
Increase your net
impressive.
worth. It really is. It really is. We had a member, he just sold put a property on the market, one day on the market, and under contract, $15,000 over asking price, all contingencies like waived, no inspections or anything. So yeah, like it happens. And just
So
we're just using
he
our
did
tools.
a
No, not
flip.
a full gut. He did a flip, but not a full gut.
And
Yeah.
what was his return?
I think he's making about 60 to 70 grand on it. Yeah. That's what I think he
He
made. I know
found
he
a
went
good
over
partner.
budget in some areas, but that 15,000 that they went over, he said they're pretty much made up for it. And that's something else that we teach our investors is to make sure that you are learning to do the for the unforeseen in your budgeting bit. So when you go over budget, like nobody wants to go over budget, but when you do, you're prepared for it. It's not just like, oh my God, that just heartbroken moment where you don't know what to do. We help equip our investors to have just whatever they need in their toolkit to where if something happened unforeseen, whether it's a sewer line, a water lead line coming in, you already are aware that this could be a potential, risk. Or when you remove walls, you might have to do some extra stucco. That you do have that in your budget set aside. You want to have that discretionary fund, that 20% extra. Like that's something that we really we just dig in on, we go in on. Though we say and guarantee that you can increase your net worth by $100,000, it's not about rushing it. Get in when you're ready to get in. Learn, save, and then you move. And mentorship is just important, whether you're a member of Better Than Success to my one-on-one coaching clients, everything. It's not about speed. Speed does not always win the race. And real estate, as you know, is a very long term game.
Very long term. What do you see the biggest challenge that new people face?
Social media.
Social media.
Social media.
What do you
Yes.
mean?
So they listen to so many voices and there's so many different ways to be an investor. I'm not saying like this way is the perfect way or that way is the perfect way. It's personality type, but a lot of people, they're listening to 10 different people. They're watching 10 different people on social media. 5 of them are scammers. And then the other 5, they're doing things just all differently. And people get confused, help them get analysis paralysis. They don't execute, or they're trying to do, they don't know which strategy they're following. They're just all over the place. You have to really, I tell people all the time, go around, see what you learn, see what fits your personality, see what works best for you. And then after that, that's when you execute. But you have to figure out what works for you. You can't do it a million different ways. You have to have a plan. And that plan, you want to have, if A don't work, you want to have a B and C, of course. But you want to have a plan and a strategy, something that you can stick to, create a roadmap for yourself. And when people get on social media, one of the things I tell my one-on-one people, all right, pick your top 3 influencers and unfollow everybody else. Pick the ones who resonate with you, who you are building, who you are as an investor. You're picking things from them and then unfollow everybody else because it will confuse you and it will have you all over the place. Let's come up with a really solid plan. And you can't do that when you're just taking information. You don't know what's a scam, you don't know what's real. People don't have like real life receipts. They don't do it. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation out there for
All
sure.
right. Yeah.
And there's a lot of chatter,
Hmm.
as well as a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and some of them are fake.
Exactly. That's what I said. Like these people, I feel like, what? Y'all say they said who? No, that's not what you do. Unless you want to be bankrupt, unless you just want to lose it all, then go ahead, do it that way. But yeah, too much
So
is
Better Than
false
Success
information.
has a lot of different events and educational things.
Absolutely, absolutely. We pride ourselves on our events where we do things in person and online. Right before I got on here, I just finished our weekly deal analysis. And that's where we literally every week for an hour we go over a deal and just how to evaluate it. So it might be a deal that somebody just recently purchased or getting ready to purchase, or we might just pick something random off the MLS or something from a wholesaler that we know. And we look at it and we evaluate it. We're looking at the comps, we're looking at the closing costs in the beginning and the end. We're in at that. So our numbers were in holding costs. We're coming up deciding, okay, is this a good burr or is it a flip? Can it be a burr? Is it just a regular hold in the long term where you're putting your money in there and then, with the aspects, because we don't gamble here, we make really educated decisions that in 5 years that this property value can increase because what we know is going on in the neighborhood. We look back into like the city plans, what do they plan on doing for redevelopment wise in the community? Because that's always a key indicator of what's going to happen to your property values. We look at all these things, the construction costs, what it might need, and we analyze these deals to come up with if it's a deal. We'll analyze these properties that's for sale to determine if it's a deal or not a deal. And literally that's weekly. We do that online. So we have people, last week we had somebody who works on a cruise ship. He was like in the middle of South America somewhere in a cruise ship. Like that was his scenery behind him was the water. It was absolutely gorgeous. But he's able to tune in and he's from originally from Philadelphia, but he invests in Houston and we analyze those over there too. So it's not just something that's Philly based. We go nationwide and analyze these deals and look at things. And we have investors from all over the country. Whether we have a lot of people from California, New York, where they invest in Philly or other cities like Philly, where the barriers to entry is a little lower than in cost than what it would be where they're from. So it makes sense for them to invest in areas here. Then we have people that's from in Philly who don't want to, be hands on. So they join the group and they learn how to build their team, their boots on the floor. We have so many different investors and so many different things. We have accountability calls. If that's something that, somebody needs help with, is being held accountable to their goals, goal setting sessions. It's, yeah, it's limitless here, Better Than Success.
That's That's
Yeah.
very exciting. Lots to do. Never
Yes. And
enough
then
time
we
in
have our
the day.
in-person, exactly. We have our in-person stuff
And
where
events in
we
person.
talk about different things.
So talk about Philly for a second. What is your what do you think hot neighborhoods are right now?
Woo. All right. What is that area? It's like not East Falls, but it's like a section of Germantown right off of like Shelton and Wissahickon, all back in that area near Lincoln Drive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
East
that's all.
Allegheny.
There you go. So over there, of course, Brewery Town is hot. Sharswood was on fire, but I think like they just cooled off. Like somebody just pulled just the whole fire hydrant on Sharswood. I don't know what happened there. That area like really, really cooled off over the past year. What area do I think is also up and coming or hot? Hmm. Of course, the East Oak Lane areas, West Philly, like the whole West Philly almost, even in areas where numbers like around like what's that, like 40, 42nd, 45th, somewhere near like what's that, Lancaster or Haverford, like all in that area.
Mantua.
So much, yes, there you go. So much construction right there. If you look at the comps aren't there yet, but they're building. They're building. That means banks are investing in that area. They believe in these areas. So where we can't necessarily see it from our point of view right now, the banks see it. They see what's coming. So I definitely think like it was somebody who wanted to get in an area where it might be still like a little cheap there. And then Kensington. People will hear me say it every day. Kensington. Kensington.
Kensington.
Kensington.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
That's
know
the
where
place
that
to be.
is.
Yes. That's like
I
the
don't like I
real
don't
place
like
to
it
be.
over there.
You don't like it over there? Do you think you'll like it over there in 5 to 10 years?
Probably. I
Exactly.
just don't it makes me sad.
It's very sad. It's heartbreaking. You know, our headquarters is in Kensington. It's heartbreaking just looking at just what's going on over there. And there's so many ages. It's age range. It doesn't discriminate on age, race, gender. It has no discrimination. What's going on over there in Kensington?
No
But what I can tell
discrimination.
you is it's in the works, like it's literally in the city works where there is no longer in the conversation, it's in the works to go through there and clean it up. You know, unfortunately,
There.
what this cleaning it up looks like, I don't know. Things that have been done previously in Philadelphia and other cities where, you know, they'll ship their problems away to other cities. And that's how Kensington became what it was because they were dropping people here off, like at 69th Street and say, get off the train at this stop. So that's kind of what happened. So how are they going to get the people out of
They
there?
moved a lot of
I'm
people out
not
of Point
sure.
Breeze too.
Yeah.
Into and moved over to Kensington.
Yep. So now everybody's just all in Kensington, but they're getting ready to get out of there. And when I tell you it's no longer in the conversation, it's in the work. It's on, like they're probably in a meeting right now talking about what they're going to do, like all the heads of the city and the developers. Kensington is about to do something major. What I would tell any of my investing advice to somebody, especially people whose money is a little long, buy over there now. Make the property safe. Literally, like board it. Well, you can't board it up anymore. Don't board up your property, y'all. The city don't like that. They will fine you. You have to get the dogs or a security system or something. But make your property safe, secure it, and not dogs like animal dogs. It's they put them like over the windows and the doors so people can't break in. It's like a tamper resistant something. But
Yes.
yeah, those things, not
It's
like
like
dogs.
a they're like
DAW.
silver. They're so big
Correct.
silver
Silver,
pieces.
tin, yes. Those. Secure the property and wait. Pay your insurance, pay your taxes, and sit back and wait. And just look, your money's just going to grow by doing nothing with that property. It's just going to just grow over there
Yeah, I wouldn't put any
before you doing
tenants over
anything.
there.
No tenant, no nothing. Exactly. I wouldn't dare put a tenant over there right now. Because anybody who will be okay with living in most of those areas, you don't want them as a tenant. You know, granted, I own in Kensington. My favorite tenant is in my Kensington property. But my Kensington properties on the street where it becomes Port Richmond. Like at one corner is Kensington, other corner is Port Richmond. For anybody that's watching us that's not from the Philadelphia area, Philadelphia is a block by block. Sometimes it changes
Indeed.
3 times on the same 100 of the street. Yeah.
It
So
indeed is
I own in
block by
Kensington.
block.
My favorite tenant is in Kensington. Yeah. But
That's
right now, when I buy over there, I'm not placing a tenant. Especially if I'm buying in some of the rougher areas near the park. And near the park is where you want to be. Because near the park is where the Starbucks and stuff is going to be at. So when I buy near the park, I'm just making it safe. Yeah, literally just making it
make
safe.
it safe and hold. Sometimes it's better just to sit with a vacant property than put a tenant in it and just pay for it, and your money will grow better than it will with in treasury bonds.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. You're still going to do it. What's about to happen over there is going to be like what happened to what's that second in Girard area? What did that call? Where they did the piazza. Remember before they used to look like that before they built the piazza? Yeah, Northern Liberties. Before they built the piazza, nobody
20
wanted
years
to be
ago.
there. Yep, nobody wanted to be there. It was baby Kensington.
That's where the brewery was.
Yeah,
They were all breweries, and it was a little like bombed out looking.
Yeah, it was rough. It was really, really rough down here. I remember my husband worked in the piazza, building it before they was open. He was a finisher in here. So like driving around, it was like, oh my God, what is going on here? Now you look at it, it's like, yeah, I drove around 45 minutes last week looking for parking. Down here.
Zero
Just trying to
parking
get
there.
something. Zero.
Like
zero parking.
Cannot drive over there.
So that's going to be Kensington in 10 years, near their park. So anybody listen to this, buy in Kensington.
Sit and wait.
Sit and wait. Yes, sit and wait.
Sit and wait. Well, that's what real estate is. It's a sit and wait game.
And that's why some people all the time, it's hurry up and wait. It's not an overnight success. It's not an overnight fame. I do not live off of my money from my rentals. I have 20 properties. That's not how I fund my livelihood. And people don't realize that. And that's why I tell, be careful who you're listening to. Because how I just said that you have so many people that are real estate influencers, and they won't tell you that. They won't tell you, just really what it is to be, bless you, to be an investor. They won't tell you about the turnovers, the tenants that, however, you got a bad tenant in there, what a bad tenant can look like. They don't tell you about these things. And they don't tell you about, maintenance if you don't do a full gut, and just how much you have to have in reserves to run a large portfolio. That's not necessarily what you're going to live off of initially. But if you could wait it out, if you could get through those patches, if you could get your loans down, then baby, it's a great retirement. And I don't mean a retirement at 65 retirement, depending on when you start. If you start early, it's a great retirement 10 years later if you buy right.
It's always about buying
I
right.
stand by that.
Whether you're buying,
that's where we make our money at, in the buy.
You make all your money on the buy.
Yep.
Been saying that for 20
You make
years.
all
I
your
just
money
hit.
Yep.
I just hit 20 years. Celebrating all week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Quiet celebration. Quiet celebration is 20 years. You make all your money on the buy. 100%.
Yes. And people say, I'm going to get a shirt made up and it's going to say disrespectful offers only. That's all I got for you, because that's where I make my money at. My concern as the buyer is not making the seller rich. It's making me rich. And that doesn't mean overpaying for anything.
No, you put enough offers and somebody will take it.
There you go. And that's something else. Like, y'all have to make sure you're following the correct people. In order to get one offer accepted, you might have to put in 200. Like literally. So just to get one, you might have to put in 200. You will spend so much time looking at properties, vetting properties, especially in the beginning. It's very time consuming. It's not that immediate gratification. Don't be the investor that says, I want to be an investor, and you look at 5 properties and then you're frustrated. So either you want to quit or are you willing to pay just over ask or over what it should be listed for. Just because you want to say, I'm in real estate, I got to do. Now you're on the other end and you can't get out. You think you're going to hold this and you're going to walk away with a $40,000 check because whatever influencer they told you to borrow and this was going to happen, but yet instead you're going to walk away and you have to leave $15,000 or $20,000 in that bill. That's the reality of not buying right. That's the complete reality of it.
Well, so many people get stuck in that situation.
Yeah.
Because I've clean it up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then we have to exit. I think the worst investment that people can make, or not investment, the worst thing that they can do if they're not in real estate is not sell their primary home, keep it as an investment property and only have that one, and have a mortgage, and then have a tenant that barely pays enough to cover the mortgage. And then they have a risk of having another mortgage to pay because tenants go sideways all the time.
Yep,
I think it's
all
bad.
the time.
I think that's like the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst thing. I'm talking about even just having one property. If that's your goal, you got one and you just stop there, like just sell it. Because what you doing? Like literally, just sell it. Especially if you have a mortgage on there, you're not making any money. You're just making headaches for yourself.
No, and if you're going to buy, hold, and just keep it and not have tenants in there, then you should be paying cash.
Absolutely. I don't know anyone that can say that they are okay with the properties they sold. They always talk about the ones that they sold. They never talk about the ones they hold. They always good because they always end up appreciating. But the ones that they sold in the area what we would consider a hot area, a year later, 2 years later, then this house is worth $50,000, $60,000 more than what they sold it for, and they just sold it because they just get into stuff.
So if you think about it, and I was thinking about this the other day on my walk into the office, I said, okay, 20 years ago, I thought about the properties that I sold for clients.
Yep.
And what they're worth today. And of the ones I thought about, they all are worth double or more 20 years later.
Or more, exactly. Double
or more in 20 years. So if you bought something for $1 million, which I did sell, my second sale was $1,050,000. It's worth over $2 now.
Wow.
Yeah, 2004. That was a pretty big sale.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big sale right now.
My second sale.
Wow. That's
4 units at Fifth and Pine.
Oh well, yeah. So that area has always been on fire. Always has, always will be.
And they were paying $2,500 a month each unit at the time.
Ooh.
So they had $10,000 a month.
The rents are $10,000 a month now.
No, that's what it was then. Okay. I don't know what it is now, but and they
I would imagine it's at least double.
And they put $500,000 down.
Wow.
So you know that's paid off.
Absolutely paid off, and they're just swimming in money.
Mortgage.
Swimming in money, because I know people that pay $10,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment or like a 1-bedroom den or something for some of these higher end living. Yeah. So it's never about the properties that they held. They always are salty about the ones they let go because they appreciate. So whenever you can hold, I tell people I only flip to buy more holds. That's it. I only flip to buy more holds because that's how you build wealth.
To buy holds.
If you flipping will make you money. That's just a quick check. What do we do with quick money? 9 times out of 10, we spend it quickly.
Reinvesting it.
But if you want to build wealth, then you have to hold on to your properties. They're appreciating assets, and they're only going to grow. It's very, very, very rare that a property would go down in value. And if it does, that's just an indicator of the market. But guess what? It's going to come back up. Once upon a time, I was underwater in my personal home in 2008. I ended up underwater. If it was 2009, I ended up underwater. And I mean, I was underwater for maybe a year. Maybe once the market started going back around, now my house is worth 3 times what I paid for it.
You have to be patient.
Yes, you have to be. Like,
there's
don't
ebbs and flows.
Thinking that you could just run. Yeah.
Look up this thing. It's called the Skyscraper Index. Have you heard of it?
No, I never heard of it. Is that a book?
No, it's like a phenomenon.
Oh wow. Okay, you have to send it to me.
Skyscraper index talks
You need
about
to
the
send
ebb
it
and
to me.
flow of markets going up and
Okay.
down, and it always happens based upon a new skyscraper being built.
Mm-hmm.
And either right before the skyscraper is built or right after is when the market goes downward.
Wow.
And it goes back to 1873.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Hmm.
really super interesting.
Yeah, you have to send me the link for that.
Yeah, I
Make
will.
sure you post it when you post this too. So the viewers could look at it being all like us. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So I have a couple more questions. I want to
Okay.
know guilty pleasure, Camille. Guilty pleasure.
Vacations. I just want to
Yeah.
go. So I'm gonna tell you
Vacations.
vacations and Eagles games.
Oh, Eagles.
Yes, I'm a diehard Eagles fan. And they're going to Brazil in September. I'm not sure when this is going to air, but if anybody's going to Brazil, make sure you DM me because I'll be there too for the game. And I'm thinking like, okay, just planning my vacations out for the year, and I'm waiting for them to release their schedule because I think I'm just going to follow them around the country.
Oh wow. You
Yeah.
really are a diehard.
Yes, I think I'm going to
E
just
A
go.
G L E S.
Eagles,
Eagles.
yes, go Birds!
Go
Like
bird.
literally, to where last year, and I say this, but it has really helped me just develop as a person, as a single woman, helped me develop because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to go to the game or whatever the case may be. It forced me out of my comfort zone, which enables me also to help me in my career. Now I'll just jump on the stuff and go to the game by myself. I'm no longer looking for somebody else to validate what I want to do. I've never traveled by myself, not ever in life have I traveled by myself. And I'm prepared to go to Brazil by myself at this point.
Oh
Never would I
wow.
have thought that's something I would have been willing to do. But it's forcing me out of my comfort zone. It's forcing me to try something new. So
That's
I'm
great.
I'm really excited about that. And as we grow, that's really, really important. So I
That's
think that's
great.
my guilty pleasure. Maybe I'll
I
find
love it.
a new
I love
husband.
it.
Never plays for the Eagles. You never know.
I used to
Get coach
travel
or something.
solo.
Really? So I've never done it. I
Yeah,
didn't
you'll
even
be
used to go to
fine.
the movies or dinner by myself. I used to do
You
nothing by
you're
myself.
gonna be at the Eagles game, so you'll be fine. There'll be other people there and it'll be
Exactly.
good.
Yep. So I'm excited.
Just
We'll
think
do a
you don't have
follow
to
up
talk to
afterwards.
any
So I don't have to talk to anybody who?
you don't have to talk to anybody on the plane. You could just sleep,
Right. Just sleep. Just go. It's a really long flight too.
read a book.
Yep. It's a really long flight. So I'm
All
excited.
right,
But
so I
that's
just
my
answered that.
main guilty pleasure.
My next question is what are you most excited about for your future?
Everything. I'm excited about being excited. I got rid of fear. Literally, I got rid of it. I got rid of fear. And even me speaking of saying I could travel by myself, that was like a fear, like a stigma. I got rid of it. I no longer give a F about what people opinions are, what they think I should be doing, how they think I should move, what they think I should wear. I don't care. I don't care to jump into, you know, an investment completely by myself. I don't care. I'm not scared to risk it all for what I believe in. I've gotten rid of fear,
Oh,
like literally.
how?
So I'm excited. You said how?
Yes.
Like
One foot
literally.
in front of the other.
That's it, one foot in front of the other. Um, Life was never easy for me. So I will hold on to was little parts of, what made sense. And then when I was forced to lose those little parts of what made sense, and I was able to recover from that, and I said, wait a minute, I recovered from this. I'm okay. Like, I'm still here. I'm okay.
You are. You're better than okay. You're doing great. I say fear, false evidence appearing real.
I love that. Yeah, so it's
False
really
evidence appearing real.
real. Yeah, like I have no fear. It's like, what can hurt me? What can hurt me? Is it a problem that money can solve? Then I ain't worried about it. Like literally, I'm not worried about it. If it's a problem that money can solve. Not saying I'm rich, but if it's a problem that money can solve, then we'll figure it out. We'll get through it.
You figure
So,
it out. Everything's figure outable. I like
yep,
that. Marie
everything.
Forleo says everything's figure outable.
Yep, everything's figure outable.
That's
I
right.
love
This has been so much fun today,
it. Yes,
Camille. Got a lot of good information.
I'm glad. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No,
Like
thank
you literally just
you
brightened
so
up this
much.
rainy day. I don't know when this is going to air, everybody, but I promise you, it's raining cats, dogs, and chickens here in Philadelphia.
Yes, it is.
It's bad out here. So
And
this was a
we got to
great,
be comfy,
yes,
cozy in our offices.
yes.
Yeah, it
So
was
yeah, this
great
was a
to
pleasure.
see you today. And I look forward to seeing
Absolutely.
you soon. And blessed and grateful for you, Camille. You're a good person.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
All right.